Canada. It's only 10 minutes away from the city of St. John. ROTHESAY Netherwood has been a leading independent school in Canada since 1877. It is absolutely breathtaking. This is where bonds are made which last a lifetime. Jacoby Neath!
Loads of potential. Kobe McEwen. He defended a lot of the top guys in this camp. Players Jalen Warren. All the way. Here, good walk. Give it up.
He can do that? He can do that?
Pick it up, Jalen.
Oh my God!
Top 10, top 10. Top 10, top 10.
Jalen Llewellyn, MVP.
So across the country, we've been able to go to every city and really get guys better, and then watch them compete.
Thank you all for joining us live at ROTHESAY Netherwood School. The first time ever a gathering of prep schools out in the Maritimes. We have 6 teams here, 4 from Ontario, and we're going to kick things off on our 11-game schedule over the next 3.5 days with B.E.A.S.T Prep and taking on ROTHESAY Netherwood, and B.E.A.S.T in the whites with yellow trim. Jason Tom here alongside Elias Sabate, live streaming for the first time since April. We were back at the Hershey Center at that time watching a young man named R.J. Barrett, sending him off to Duke. And here we are back live, a little bit of a different environment, but I got to tell you folks, it is exciting to be here in New Brunswick.
And it's been awesome watching the evolution of the game out on the east and the west. Central Canada has really, been the mecca of basketball for so many years, and this was a big piece to this puzzle, bringing the National Prep League out here for these fans to see. And we're gonna have packed gyms all weekend long. A lot of people still filing in.
This is the East National Session, hosted by RNS, who are a much different team we've seen every year. I remember RNS year 1 struggled as a first-year franchise, but here we are in year 3 of Damien Gay's 5-year plan, and this is a solid squad out there, Elias.
And Kellen Tynes has been super special. You saw him, really break out last year throughout the entire season, but more so at Nationals. And he started off the first game with 40 points on 59% shooting. That's absolutely amazing.
He's D'd up by Omichi Williams here to start it off, and Tynes had to beat the shot clock. The Beast gets it back, and there's Tynes with the steal.
Again, first game of the season.
What Kellen Tynes does.
Against Halifax, he had 4 steals in that game. He was one of the leading stealers in the league last season, and he started off the game with 1 and a bucket in transition.
Tynes with the steal, basket in the foul. Opportunity here for a 3-point play to start things off. the National Preparatory Association in its 3rd season. 13 teams in the league this year. Ooh, step back 3. No good from Williams. There's a rebound by Tynes. Great look to Shaheem Malcolm. That's exactly what the Riverhawks want in the early going. That was their big 3 out in the open floor. Tynes to Malcolm, basket in the bump.
And this is an interesting lineup. Coach Damian Gay's got out on the floor. He went small ball to start the game. These guys can really run the floor, and you notice with B.E.A.S.T, they got a lot of guards out that match up. Shaheem Malcolm, Sam Alamutu, Caleb Suley, Matt Pennell, Kellen Tynes. This is a very dynamic guard play here.
Great to see Caleb Suley's parents in from Newfoundland. Suley from the Rock. Gets some time every summer to work out with a local hero, Carl English, who I'm told is tuning into the live stream to watch his young man here play. Shout out Carl and the St. John's Edge. Malcolm in transition. Great find. No finish there.
And he read that the whole way down to Matt Pennell. He kind of switched direction, knowing what side of the floor Pennell was on. That's a gimme. You know, Pennell's going to be kicking himself when he heads to the bench with that one. But you got to be next play mentality.
Lodi Kenny, front rim and out. B.E.A.S.T got into town late last night, early this morning. Trying to work that rust off the legs. Oh, set back. Mayan. Big time swat at the rim. And Tynes picks up the foul.
He's one of the studs from Alberta. We've been talking about Alberta for years and calling it a sleeping giant. No one's sleeping on them anymore. There is talent scattered across teams all over the prep league that is from Alberta.
That was length on length there with Shaheem Malcolm trying to climb the ladder.
Yep.
Malcolm with a wingspan that goes on for days. Ooh, nice little crossover, but Tynes is there to send it back, and he gets it back. Nice little crossover. Riverhawks on the run. Tynes keeps it himself. You got to stop the ball when he has the rock in his hands. We got a timeout. Head coach Greg Robitaille. 7-0 run to start the game for the Riverhawks. Stay with us. We'll be back after a short break. Things are just kicking off from New Brunswick. Welcome back to ROTHESAY NETHERWOOD School. The beautiful campus they have out here. Already have been incredibly gracious hosts. But I know the Riverhawks are going to not be that gracious on the floor. They're looking to make an impact this season already with a tough 1-point loss to Halifax Prep to kick off the NPA season. That game was held in Halifax, Nova Scotia, in front of a sold-out crowd. You will see Halifax Prep here in action later today, as they'll be taking on Crestwood in the next game. Caleb Suley couldn't get it to go from range. Shaheem Malcolm tipping, easy money.
And the upper body strength of Caleb Suley. There's the block by Malcolm.
That wingspan is impressive from Shaheem.
Before that block, I was saying Caleb Sully's really put on some strength, and it's helped him extend his range. He's able to put that shot up from 2-3 feet outside of the three-point line.
Nice putback, Sam Alamutu. I think one thing we're seeing in the early going here is a RNS squad that has really stayed together for the last 3 seasons. They've graduated some players, but I mean, this core remains the same. You know, I'm not obviously comparing them to the Spurs, but it's actually been mentioned across the league that that is the type of program they're putting together here, where when you're a Riverhawk, you play a certain way. This is the way that you do it when you're a part of RNS, and you really see it out there. While B.E.A.S.T, a lot of new players coming into this program, still getting used to playing with each other, and I think that's what you're seeing here with this 11-0 run to start the game.
Yeah, and I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Coach Damian Gay's done a terrific job in terms of just building culture, holding guys accountable, and making sure that they hold themselves accountable on this squad. Everybody's gotten better from the first time that we've seen them, and by a significant dose, too.
Stepped out of bounds along the sidelines. That was Quavon McFarland. B still looking to get their first points onto the board. Into the corner, Shaheem Malcolm, corner 3, Cash. A dream start here for the Riverhawks, 14-0 to start the game. You can just tell this is their home gym.
And with this type of momentum going their way, B.E.A.S.T has really got to be careful. Try to get in the lane as much as possible. You're seeing a lot of them are very perimeter oriented right now, and luckily Mayen stopped the bleeding there.
You just see him sitting there on D, ready to block the shot at every opportunity as well. There is a big basket, big time finish. Quavon McFarland going to the line, looking for the three-point play. You just have that feeling for B.E.A.S.T right now. They just need to get the momentum on their side. It's going to be interesting to watch them this season to see how they come together as a team and who is going to bring them together. And as I say that, Omichi Williams at center court brings his squad together to have a little chat.
Yeah, that's the thing with this team. I haven't seen a sense of identity. I haven't seen these guys bond at any level, and that's what the challenge is going to be for them. They got to find a way to, off the court, on the court, mesh and really become a true unit.
That's the challenge for players and teams on every level. It doesn't matter if it's high school, college, club ball. No matter where you are, that's a constant challenge. And if you can be one of those players who brings his team together, no matter what is going on between players, that's a skill. That's one of those things that you talk about as our national scout, the intangibles that you look for in a player.
I mean, they mean a lot to me, because when I'm asked at the next level by coaches who are recruiting these players, what kind of personality does he have? How does he get along with the team? Is he one for camaraderie, or is he cancerous to the team? Those things really come into play. And one guy that definitely has very, very high intangibles is the man on the screen right now, Kellen Tynes. Ridiculous numbers put up in the first game, and I anticipate that we'll get a lot more of that from Kellen Tynes. Shooting percentages off the charts, and you see defensively, he's always in the passing lanes. He anticipates plays before they happen, and that allows him to really get in there and go for the steal.
Tynes was spectacular in that game against Halifax Prep. As you see, not only with that 40-point mark, an NPA record 40 points, 17 of 29. And most of those misses were actually from range. Late in the game, RNS was down double digits and had to start launching from deep. And that's where a lot of those misses were. If you look at his shot chart, so many of them came from at the rim. He just slices up that D. And I'm sure Halifax Prep will be looking at that tape to figure out how to stop him next time around. And right now it's B.E.A.S.T looking to get their offense in some flow. Nice move in the paint. Jonas Tanazi cashes 2. After that 14-0 run, B.E.A.S.T has answered with a 7-0 run of their own. Tynes working that rock. And all of a sudden, the Riverhawks have gone cold on offense. Nice move, kick out, corner 3. Not even close. Ooh, nice thought. Again, I think that's just two players that haven't played an awful lot together. I mean, I know it's early, but I think we've seen Omichi Williams do an awful lot of good things so far. Strong on the ball, defending Kellen Tynes. And it looks like he's becoming a bit of a leader out there on the floor to this very new squad.
Great ball movement here by RNS, just really getting the open looks. Inside, outside. Everybody getting a touch, confusing the defense.
That was Matt Pennell from range. Let's say the foul before the attempted shot. Some size checking in for RNS. Benjamin Dowell, Big Ben. There's Omichi Williams, kick back out.
I don't know if it's just me, but Ben looks a lot more mobile. It's lighter on his feet. His body seems to have trimmed down a little bit as well. He looks good.
He's going to have to be. You know, the NPA has a lot of mobile bigs, a lot of bigs that can kind of step out and shoot. You're going to see Crestwood later on in the second game of today's doubleheader, and they have some size. Kellen Tynes.
Spectacular, that kid.
He can finish through anything, and I mean, the anguish that he has, I mean, any angle that he's putting that layup in from, he's able to cash it. He is going to be a problem in the NPA this season.
And to think he's only in the class of 2020. We got him for another year. He's going to have several offers on the table by the end of this season. I think also as he continues to put on mass and look the part, there's going to be a lot more coaches taking him seriously.
Look at that. Once again, ooh.
Hope both players are all right on that one. Poor defensive play in that situation as well.
Jacob Abiola took a hard fall there. He gets right to the bench. Omichi Williams working the rock. Now he has Dowell on him. Dowell closed it off as best he can. Omichi Williams very strong with the rock. RNS with a 12-point lead here. Just under 3 minutes left in the opening quarter. From range, no good from Mann. Pennell, almost and over and back. Tynes will pull up jumper. Man, if you can add that to the game too, how are you gonna be able to stop that kid?
One thing that's been really impressive for RNS to start this first quarter, just very unselfish play. There he is again in the passing lanes.
And he was smart. He could have forced it to Sully. Instead, they get it to him after an extra pass. Back to Pennell.
And at this point, I know they put up 7 on the board, but RNS is absolutely toying with B.E.A.S.T.
It's a 14-0 run followed by a 7-0 run back the other way, and now we're back a 9-0 run from RNS. Offensive rebound. That was Omichi Williams finding Quavon McFarland.
And one thing I like about McFarland is he's forcing his way into the paint. He's forcing the refs to blow the whistle on him, and getting to the line this early in the game, getting a few of RNS's inside presence in foul trouble could play to the advantage of B.E.A.S.T. down the stretch. And Jack Fiffield in the game. We got pretty familiar with him last season. Made some pretty big-time threes and key defensive stops. Just a tough glue guy on this squad.
Quavon McFarland drops the first.
Hey, get back! Talk, man!
Tynes run the offense. Daniel Luck back up top to Tynes. Dowell trying to set the screen. Tynes didn't even need it. Nice protect of the ball. Could not get it over the rim that time. Pull-up jumper is Cash. Quavon McFarland. He and Michi Williams took turns on the offensive side. Sully no good. For the first time, Jabril Batterdine on the floor. Back the other way once again, that's Mahan.
Mahan's really good at switching direction. Very nimble feet, light on his toes. You know, once he gets in that lane, the Euro step, little pro hop as well.
Tynes protecting it. Prince Haiga was all over him. Jack Fifield inbounding. Ooh, Tynes looking for the contact. He's not getting that home court whistle, that's for sure. Back the other way. That's Mahan. Did it from the outside earlier. Nice transition game. Impressive early. A big man from Calgary.
And from what we're seeing so far, it looks like McFarland and Mahan are the go-to options for offense on this squad.
Tynes no good. Offensive rebound. Tynes misses from range, gets back into the paint, can't get over the front of the rim. Under 10 seconds to go here. You hear B.E.A.S.T calling it out from range. Batterdine no good. 23-14. RNS after the first. I don't think either team is overly happy right now. I think RNS feels like they should be up more, and I think B.E.A.S.T, without that poor start, would have been in a bit better shape. Stay with us. Second quarter action coming at you from the East National Session in ROTHESAY, New Brunswick.
Moment right now. This is what we've been waiting for all year.
Oh. Steadily gained confidence. Richardson steal finds Fofo. Cash.
Happening.
Yep. Ooh.
Oh, nice little move there.
Wasn't always a starter. About halfway through the season.
Oh yeah, boy! Let's go! Let's go! Moment right now. This is what we've been waiting for all year.
Oh. Steadily gained confidence. Richardson steal finds Fofo. Cash.
Happening.
Yep. Ooh.
Oh, nice little move there.
Wasn't always a starter. About halfway through the season.
Oh yeah, boy!
It's a 9-point lead for the Riverhawks here through the opening 10 minutes. Had a nice chat with the officials before this game. They were eagerly anticipating this 11-game schedule that we brought out. We have both GTA Prep and Toronto Basketball Academy en route to play their games. All over the glass is Shaheem Malcolm. Curious about Malcolm. I know there's been lots of talk about him adding weight. I mean, when you see the way that he's built, like, how much weight do you want to put on that frame?
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about the weight with him. I mean, he's that type of player. He's lanky. He's not like Fofo. He's a +9 in terms of wingspan, but he's naturally built thick. With Shaheem Malcolm, this is his body type. With these ectomorphs, if we're gonna get scientific, they're lean and they're long, and definitely plays to his advantage from what we've seen so far.
And I mean, it may be a frame that puts on weight after the fact, but I mean, you don't want to do that too early as well. You don't want to invite injuries. You don't want to invite a body that's not quite ready for that. I mean, you look at like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, who added weight well after the fact, and I mean, you look at him this season, it looks totally different, but I mean, I believe Giannis now is, I think, 24. I mean, at that point, your body can put that weight on and handle it.
Yeah. It just happens to come on easier,
obviously,
when your metabolism slows down.
Yep.
And
we all know about that metabolism slowing down as you get older.
Oh, it hasn't hit me yet, so just back off. Eating green, I'm sure, has a lot to do with it.
East Coast hospitality in full effect here. Treated to a full lunch when we arrived here on the campus at RNS. They opened this up in 1877. A historic building and a historic gym. And then they are a part of history right now. And you can hear head coach Damian Gay screaming for the 8-second call, and the officials laugh it off. They got the whistle, though, at RNS defense. Swallows them up. Sully, one dribble jumper, tip in. I think they're going to give that to Shaheem Malcolm.
And RNS just looks, they're getting a lot of clean looks. Yes, they're missing some, but I mean, I don't think you can look back at this film and say, oh, that looked clean as they come.
Tynes a little upset at that. I think that's going to send him to the bench. Tynes sitting atop the leaderboard in the points per game category on NPAcanada.com. Sure, it's just one game and he dropped 40, but that was more a shameless plug to have you go check out the new website.
Does look pretty fresh. And hey, he's probably on pace for another 30 to 40 in this game.
Which is so interesting because we saw him last year, and I mean, it's not like he's not sharing the rock. It's just his ability to get to the rim is something. And then when you're surrounding him with guys who can shoot and can score and can cut off the ball, sometimes you kind of sag off him. And there's a guy like Caleb Suey. I mean, this guy's going to average 15 points a game this season.
Solid.
Purely off open jumpers and cutting backdoor. Repping the rock, Caleb Sully. That's a name you're going to hear for years to come. Another big-time three. Man,
oh man.
There's going to be lots of opportunities to have fun with that name this season, but nothing fun about him on the court. And there you see Sam Alamutu, who's, been somebody we've talked about a lot since we got here, just asking about how he's fit into this squad, and everybody has just raved about how he's been able to fold himself into this squad.
Well, he's a strong student. He's a super nice kid, and he can flat out ball. I don't see how a kid like that doesn't fit into anywhere he goes in the country.
You got timeout on the floor, 13-point lead for RNS. A short break, we'll be back to RNS, the East National Session. Welcome back to the historic, hallowed grounds of ROTHESAY Netherwood School. The National Preparatory Association has arrived in the Maritimes. Game 1 of 11. 2 games today, 3 tomorrow, 5 on Saturday. And Shaheem Malcolm goes baseline for the two-handed slam. Shaheem having fun in his home gym. Ooh, could have been a travel call. Instead, Lodi Kenyi hits from range. Ooh, good defense. Really like what I'm seeing from Amici Williams on both ends. And there he is, coming up with a loose ball. Nice look.
Very unselfish play.
Battle for the ball. Neither guy wants to give it up.
It won't be Shaheem, that's for sure.
You know, RNS was excited to have all these teams come in, like after 2 years of them traveling for multiple games to participate in the National Preparatory Association. They were rewarded with a national session, and they are excited to host all these teams, have an opportunity to play in their own gym. We're showing our live stream throughout the campus, in the mess hall, out here in the main lobby as well. We have some U Sports coaches making the trip in for this session. Opportunity for them to see some high-level basketball up close without having to travel too far. This is really what the NPA is all about, growing this game coast to coast across Canada. We're seeing those seeds start to grow and blossom across the nation. And it really speaks a lot to all the programs involved in the NPA. Everyone making that commitment to grow this league, to travel many provinces away in order to play these games, knowing full well it's not about the wins and losses only, it's about this league taking roots across the nation. Quavon McFarland, nice finish at the rim. And I know you were out, Elias, in Winnipeg last weekend, and you were impressed with what you saw out there. And we'll talk about that throughout the weekend, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, the kids in the Western session really set the bar. I think the motive here, everyone's going for a championship, even the first-year teams that have a lot of building to do. It's just amazing to see over the years. I remember I spent my first 4 years while I was operating North Pole Hoops, just focused on, you know, traveling to the States to see our prep school kids. And now we have a platform in Canada that allows them to get the exact same, to get even more exposure than they would going down south. We got coaches flying in from all over the place. Last year at Nationals, you know, many NCAA coaches made their way up, as well as through the Ottawa session. So the opportunities are endless, and what those guys showed in the Winnipeg session, truly a spectacle. And I think one of those teams is a contender, that's for sure.
That was the Winnipeg divisional session that took place in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And what was exciting about that is we had 3 expansion programs at that divisional session. And you had Edge out of Calgary, Saskatoon Basketball Academy out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
They were impressive. They were really, really impressive.
It was
for a
great
first-year
following
program.
along with you and to hear all that, because, you know, so many of these, you know, we know a couple of the players. You know, we know the people who are running the programs. And look out back the other way. Ooh, nice finish in transition. Omichi Williams to Quavon McFarland, those 2 guys have been solid for B.E.A.S.T. Oh, Shaheem Malcolm splitting the D. Sully has it stripped again. Getting it right back is Sam Alamutu.
Great pump fake, but they closed out really good on him. Mayan took away the baseline at first.
Timeout on the floor, an 11-point lead, midway point of the second quarter. Stay with us, game 1 of 11 of the East National Session.
Everyone has their story. What's yours? Were you born with the ball in your hands? Or were you a late bloomer? Are you a dead-eye shooter? Or a high flyer?
Throws up an alley-oop! All elbow! Williams!
Are you a leader? Or an elite role player? North Pole Hoops wants to know, what's your story?
Country, you know, about how good they are, and you're going to be more proud to be a part of all of that. Kids are getting better, kids are getting exposure. It's awesome.
This event is fantastic. I think you guys, North Pole Hoops, does a tremendous service for basketball in this country. And, you know, talking with Kyle Julius, my brother, we never had this when we were growing up. We never had the exposure camps. And I think it's something that people need to start to look at and take advantage of, because regardless if you're the best kid at that camp, you're going to get noticed. And I think that's something that these kids need to understand. And you guys to go across the country and do these events, it's a tremendous thing.
I think what you guys are doing here in Quebec is putting us on the map, so to speak. I think it's, as far as my responsibility, I want to get the word out there, especially with my affiliation with the national team, as to where we can make our players here in Quebec even more exposed, more noticeable. And what you guys at North Pole Hoops are doing.
Don't worry, we'll get you up to date. Caleb Sully sliced and diced for 2 to push the lead up to 13. B.E.A.S.T looking to answer back. Can't get it to go. RNS push it back the other way. Nice hustle back. Jacob Moraldo, good transition defense for the steal, and Sully picking pockets, saves it. Alamutu hitting the ground. Shaheem Malcolm can't get it to go. Sully's there for the putback. We'll get you some halftime stats once we hit the break, but I'll tell you this, Caleb Sully is having himself a season already. Ooh, some nice passing of the rock. No finish though. Moraldo gets it back. Sent back! Alamutu says no way. And then Mayan sending it back the other way. There is going to be a battle for shot blocking leadership this season, that's for sure. Jacob Moraldo banged up his knee. Ooh, good recovery. Ket Simon with the block. And there's Alamutu fitting right in with this Riverhawks squad. Battling through the contact. One of 2 players on this squad out of the Toronto area. Alamutu joining Shaheem Malcolm. 2 players coming out here getting that private school education while playing some high-level basketball.
And the 3-headed monster of Shaheem Malcolm. Oh, there's another steal coming right up. A lot of pressure being applied here from RNS.
Malcolm pulls it down. He's battling everybody.
Got to get it up ahead. That's the right look.
Alamutu pulls it down. Keeps it himself. Meehan tried to erase it, but Alamutu finishes. Foul called. Daniel Luck. As we mentioned, B.E.A.S.T still getting used to each other, but they definitely able to go pretty deep on their squad. Switching bodies in and out. Malcolm pushing back the other way.
RNS is getting a lot of second chances in this game, and you know, if B.E.A.S.T just looks a little unorganized on the defensive end.
There's a big time spike. And Jonas Tanazi throwing down. Alamutu, nice look back, just passing a little behind the target. Oh, and you know RNS is all about taking those charges.
He sold that well too. He wasn't, I don't think his feet were established yet, and he kind of fell with the contact before it even happened.
Damian Gay will be marking that one down in his charge folder, which should be named after Jackie Wu at this point. Jackie Wu, graduate of this RNS squad, led the league in charges last season.
Get back. Get there. One way.
Alamutu.
Good look inside.
Great ball movement. Alamutu, their offensive rebound. One thing, again, with this team getting used to each other, there's been lots of holes on the defensive rebounding front. They are ball hawking out there, are these Riverhawks. Caleb Sully getting up. Oh, couldn't quite throw it down.
He wants that in-game dunk.
I think he thought he had it right there. Out of bounds.
I think I can.
RNS taking advantage of this home court advantage, jumping all over B.E.A.S.T. The Crestwood Lions have arrived in the gym. They play at 6 o'clock local time. 5 o'clock in the east if you're tuning in from Ontario. Or 2 o'clock in British Columbia time. I'm not going to go right across the nation right now. Look at the Riverhawks swallowing up on D. Ooh, Sully almost caught an elbow right there. I think he may have. That's what happens when you play that kind of D. Those limbs go flying. .109 left here. Baseline. Lost it on his way up. RNS looking to finish this first half strong. Try to step on the neck here. Sully down low. Fifield gets to Alamutu.
It's a powerful take by Alamutu. Man, his strength, once he's up in the air, he absorbs contact. He'll fight through that. I've seen him throw down some stuff on some guys in traffic. Yuck.
6'3", 205 is what he's listed at in a 2021. So that is going to turn into a pretty chiseled frame as the seasons go on, I would believe.
Already is, man.
Yeah, up top.
He looks great. He looks great, and you see his skill set. Once he gets in the lane, he switches direction really well, using spin moves, using hop steps, side steps. He's got a lot in that arsenal.
Hits the second. R&S really getting it done on both ends here today. They put up 50 while limiting their opponents to just 27. Head coach Damian Gay's got to be happy about that. Batterdine no good. Alamutu just thinking one thing the whole way, but Mayan is thinking one thing the whole game. I'm spiking that ball through the floor.
Hey, what do we need? What do we need?
Got to see a little bit of Mayan during the NPA showcase when we were in Alberta, and he had spurts, man, when he looked like the best player on the floor. I do love the fact that he's a two-way player as well. That's a little outside of his range. Got to have some cojones on you to put that one up.
You got to be in flow, in rhythm. You got to be feeling it to try to drop that. Sully beating the clock, no good. R&S, are they going to count it? They are counting at the buzzer. Matthew Pinnell pulls it up and cashes it before the buzzer goes in. Big time shot, Matt Pinnell. A 26-point lead for R&S heading into the break. Stay with us, we'll be back with first half stats after this short break.
Creating that opportunity.
A competitive person competes for a player or two. But a competitor always tries to find a way to win.
When we're talking top prospects across the country, it doesn't matter if you're the top guy in Ontario, because now you have to be the top guy in Canada. And then it doesn't matter that you're the top guy in Canada, because the States has 350 million people.
I like seeing all you guys' hands go up when you talk about NCAA. Because a lot of times from here, we don't believe. That's the only thing that it is just believing. You know, you guys have the talent and just the work ethic, and you guys can all put it in today.
Ici, il y a un écran sur la balle, ils disent switch. Il y a un deuxième écran sur la balle, ils disent rien. Pull-up jumper wide open.
I think it would be easier to get recognized because of North Pole Hoops. You know, you guys are out there recognizing and identifying people because you know that there are diamonds in the rough. Back then, because of the national team, it was easy to get exposure. So if I could have the access to exposure that the kids get now, I think I would have seen my opportunity in a different way. I would have been as afraid of the opportunity, not necessarily afraid, but I would have known more about the opportunity, known the value of the opportunity, known even the end game of the opportunity. If I knew if the climate was the same now as it was then.
I don't care if it's 4:30 left and we're up by 100. Do you hear me? You play one way and that's hard. Got me? Yeah. Let's go.
Right here. Foul! And one. Let's go, boy!
I'm going to go precision. If you can't be precise, you can't play.
Reach. Smooth. Flow. I'm 6'9", 270. I can do it lightly. You guys should be able to.
Every single one of you guys in this gym. It's about competing and seeing where you are to know, all right, I'm leaving camp, I know what I got to work on.
If I'm evaluating a prospect and he can't play defense, you know what that tells me? That tells me I can't trust him. I can't trust you if you don't play defense.
Tell him, space out, move. You gotta direct the show, okay? Right. And you gotta keep go get it. If he's not here, ball. Communicate, right? That's next level stuff.
It speaks on the community's involvement as well. There's a lot of people that help, and you know what? That's what really North Pole Hoops is all about. It's about continuing to build culture, continuing to build community within the game, and helping the game elevate here in this country.
We want to invest into the game. We want to work with the community, and we feel that it's extremely important to work together as a community, from high school coaches to club coaches to different stakeholders. It's extremely important to work together. As we always say, it takes a village to raise a child. We really believe that, and we want to execute that.
Is it something that I've done again? Say what?
Seeing is believing. Create your very own mixtape that showcases your top highlights and skills. And strengthen your recruiting status with a direct video for coaches and scouts. Available at all NPH covered and hosted events nationwide. Email mdotto@northpolehoops.com for any inquiries and special filming requests. Exposure starts here.
Tell, is it something that I've done again? Say what?
NPH National Showcase Circuit. From the grassroots level to the pros, a system has been developed through the National Showcase Circuit. North Pole Hoops hosts 3-day camps in Canada's major basketball markets that focus on exposure, skill development, and character development. Top performers go on to receive athletic scholarships in Canada and the United States. There are currently over 200 Canadian men and women playing at the NCAA Division I level. Canada's next top talents are identified at NPH's National Showcase Circuit. NPH events. There's an opportunity to get involved at the ground level. NPH hosts elite level high school tournaments to national club team championships throughout the course of the season. Now is your chance to get involved with the fastest growing sport in Canada with the industry leaders and influencers. Get in the game today and join NPH in growing basketball in this country. NPH events. There's an opportunity to get involved at the ground level. NPH hosts elite level high school tournaments to national club team championships throughout the course of the season. Now is your chance to get involved with the fastest growing sport in Canada with the industry leaders and influencers. Get in the game today and join NPH in growing basketball in this country.
There's one thing I've seen from Kellen Tynes. That guy is not afraid. Very pressure. It's so good in traffic. Coast to coast on that one. Kellen Tynes, basket plus the foul.
Kellen Tynes again on the blow-by.
Tough take. You know what? I'm done calling them tough takes. I think for Kellen Tynes it's easy. He is making this a regular occurrence.
Pick in the pocket, Tynes.
Kellen Tynes picking pockets and finishing.
Tynes from deep. Tynes, triple.
He's on the left side, finishes with his right hand, able to just get enough on it.
Man, Kellen Tynes, the court vision on this kid is on another level.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And there's Tynes again, Caleb Suey.
He split a pair of defenders, finessed his way around another that was looking to draw a charge, finished with a nice kiss off the window.
Great body control.
Malcolm tries another, buries it.
Wide open down low, but he
taking away those second chance opportunities. RNS has gotten one too many of them. Also, they've attacked every gap, and defenders aren't sliding and helping, and that's a big piece to this puzzle. Is once they learn what their identity is in terms of who B.E.A.S.T is, I think they'll have a much better style of play and more camaraderie on this team.
Tynes back on the floor like a caged animal right now. Great look. Kellen Tynes dropping dimes. He's holding up the right hand to say
that boy's smooth,
it's on
man.
fire after launching that through the lane. Shiny dime from Kellen Tynes. Pulling it from range, no good. And we consistently talk about that three-headed monster, Shaheem Malcolm, Kellen Tynes, Caleb Suley, 15, 9, and 9 respectively in that first half, and then you throw in Sam Alamutu with 12. This RNS squad is going to be dangerous this season.
A little more contribution from their big men, and they're going to be really solid. I mean, hey, you look at that take right there from Kellen Tynes. His strength has really come about. You saw the way he took that contact. Still able to contort, adjust in midair.
Tynes does that so well in fighting the contact, driving into the body. Look at the passing.
Beautiful, just so unselfish.
This is just disheartening if you're B.E.A.S.T right now, seeing this RNS squad who's played together for 3 years now, just on the same page, and then you see the handoff, very messy between B.E.A.S.T. That's twice now. I thought these were RNS home rims. It's twice that they've seen their jams falling back out at them. And from range, that's the leading scorer for B.E.A.S.T. Man. Ooh, Alamutu sent back by Man. Back the other way. Ooh. Once again, a couple of bad misses from Man as well.
Just a little bit rushed is all.
And there's Suley in transition for 2. Timeout on the floor. The lead is up to 31. Stay with us. Short break. We'll be back to ROTHESAY Netherwood School. is going to have to tighten some things up here because R&S is just all over them at every opportunity.
R&S is on pace right now for 120 points in this game. They're getting a lot of buckets in transition.
Almost a chase down there, but Matt Pennell finished it off glass.
Almost another steal for Kellen Tynes, man. He's got I think 5 in the game now. He had 4 in the last one. This kid might end up averaging 4 steals per game. And again, it comes down to anticipation and just court sense, knowing where you are on the floor.
Sully stepping in for the steal.
Tried to get it ahead. Good idea. You know, you kind of want Kellen in that situation. Kellen was looking to go to the corner because he saw traffic in the middle, but he wanted him rim running.
That's what happens when you practice alongside Kellen Tynes too often. You start dropping dimes like him. A little look away there from Sully. Pull-up jumper, no good. Shaheem Malcolm, rebound, push. Sully, 2. This is surgical right now from the Riverhawks. They've been sitting here waiting for these games after losing to Hal, and there he is again. Kellen Tynes picking pockets. Shaheem Malcolm for 2. Tynes is just having a blast out there. Just terrible decision to just pick up that ball.
Especially that far away from the rim.
Is that a steal? Is that a block?
Should register as a block.
Just know it's another solid defensive play from Kellen Tynes. Timeout on the floors. We have both Halifax Prep and Crestwood here.
Which should be a very interesting matchup. Have not seen Halifax yet this season in person, but it's a completely different makeup in terms of the personnel on this team. Added a lot of size, plus they still have the leadership of Brendan Muntu.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Muntu. He obviously was a top 3 scorer in the NPA last season, almost by necessity. A Halifax Prep team that was looking to try to find an offensive scoring touch, and they really battled a lot of injuries throughout the season, and there's a lot of him and Jaron Johnson. Ryan Toney graduated off that squad. They really needed a bunch of reinforcements, and they got it. Marcus Eaton has a ton of weapons to play with, and I know they are excited for a number of matchups this season in the NPA, most notably against Crestwood. Once again, B.E.A.S.T just did not know what the clock was at.
That's the sense of togetherness that I'm talking about. If you're the guys on the bench for B.E.A.S.T right now, you know what your shot clock is at. How are you not communicating to that? How are you not communicating that to the guys on the floor? It's not a team attribute. And that's what these guys have to figure out. They do that, they no doubt have the weapons to play basketball and get it done on the court.
Caleb Sully from downtown. He actually hadn't hit a 3 yet in this game, which was kind of shocking. But I mean, he's become so much more than just a 3-point shooter. While Shaheem Malcolm throwing down in ROTHESAY. The Riverhawks are in flight, and Shaheem Malcolm putting the NPA on notice. You know, you could say B struggling to score, but really R&S's defense has been impressive. No easy passes. Tynes thought about it. Ooh, he passed up. I don't think he saw Sully right behind him, but it doesn't matter. We'll go from downtown. Matt Pennell from range. R&S just piling on. I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas pedal either.
I think they're trying to make a statement in this game. And if B.E.A.S.T isn't careful, they're going to be one of those teams that, you know, opponents use to make statements. Malcolm for three this time, gets it to go.
Shaheem Malcolm putting it all on display. That is a 27-5 run to start up this third quarter.
Oh boy. And I wasn't too off the mark when I said on pace for 120.
Tynes. Wow, RNS is just not missing at this point. Tynes, steal. And the basket. Kellen Tynes and the Riverhawks doing it all. They're feeling good. Talked about that loss to Halifax Prep. You know it bothered them, that 4-hour ride to Halifax, to come out with a 1-point loss in that home opener for Halifax Prep. You know RNS was back here. That's 2 weeks before their next NPA game, and they were just stewing, knowing that they were going to have this home court advantage, and they have just jumped all over B.E.A.S.T Prep.
I'm sure they're eager to get back at Halifax as well in a rematch at some point in the season.
Rematch will be going on in December in this barn right here.
Ah, so they get 1-1. One away, one home against Halifax.
Becoming a tradition, a maritime NPA tradition, the home and home.
That's a gimme. Got to finish that one, big man.
Jabril Betterdine cashing it in from range. I'll make him feel good. He'd missed a couple earlier. At this point, it's purely about trying to get individual players feeling a little bit better, getting themselves in the flow of things. B.E.A.S.T with 3 more games in this session. They need to come back and be ready to go.
And Crestwood headed out to the change rooms, getting ready for their next game against Halifax Prep. They match up well in terms of size. I find, from what I've seen so far, the skill set on the roster for Crestwood is tough, man. You got a national team kid in Jacoby Neath. You got Luis Pacheco, who's manning the paint and can finish from mid-range as well. You got a young stud in Elijah Fisher. Not to mention several others that can contribute. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Fancy pants over there. Kellen Tynes wanted to flex on him, tried to squeeze that one through.
That was Tim Cabre with the steal. A local kid, St. John, New Brunswick product.
Shaheem Malcolm's a different animal this year, but the same beast, as Kobe would say.
Yeah, he's always been known to be kind of a quiet guy on the floor, but we've already seen that. He's talking a lot more in just one game than I saw all last season. See, that's a strong move. Prince Haga. Oh, Tynes, another shiny dime. Tynes to Shaheem Malcolm. You're going to hear that connection time and time again this season.
That's all right. I do like the aggression there on that take. You got to try to stop the bleeding at the line here. Put some points on the board with the time stopped.
RNS is going to talk things over. I don't know if they have anything negative to speak about in that timeout. A short break. We'll be back to RNS in just a few minutes. live to ROTHESAY NETHERWOod School as Halifax Prep rolls into the locker room, getting ready for the second game of the day. They'll be taking on Crestwood as we continue this East versus West matchup. Sully, a little miscommunication for the first time really today. We've seen RNS a little out of sorts, but I think head coach Damien Gaze called off the Dogs a little bit. They got 3 more games to go in this session, so I think they feel comfortable with the lead.
And it's good this early in the season to test some of the other pieces on your team and see what they can provide.
It's also nice that you can keep a guy like Caleb Sully out there because he can play a couple different positions, almost a point forward to an extent. He can be bringing the ball up as well.
I like the pace and the speed in transition. Definitely seem to have picked up with regards to Sully's game. And a stagnant offense here for B.E.A.S.T. You see guys in the corners, guys on the perimeters, just not a lot of movement, not creating options for teammates.
I feel like they pick up the ball an awful lot
away
early.
From, yeah. Well away from the rim.
And it's, I mean, that's basic. You know, you do that, you're never going to be able to get it going offensively.
Well, that's when the offense gets real frantic. You know, guys tighten up on other bodies on the floor, and then you're just taking away so many different opportunities, so many different angles.
Oh, McFarland thrown to the floor. You know, when B.E.A.S.T has been able to get the ball to the rim, good things have happened. They've got themselves to the free throw line. They've been able to have some opportunities. Some good ball movement there, just couldn't get it to go. At this point, B.E.A.S.T just wanting to find some combination of players out there that they can build off of going into tomorrow's game. RNS, doesn't matter who they have out there. Lots of cutting, lots of slashing, lots of finishing at the basket. That's Caleb Sully. Basket in the bump, looking for the 3-point play. .9 seconds left here. Michi Williams, who was the leading scorer, or one of the leading scorers for B.E.A.S.T in that first half, but really this second half has been very difficult offensively for this squad as the Riverhawks have put the clamps down, but now it's B.E.A.S.T looking to get up defensively, swallowing up the ball. Sully comes up with it again. I think this B.E.A.S.T squad is just learning about Caleb Sully right now for the first time. Man, kick back out into the corner. 3 is no good. Coming down with it, Benjamin Dowell. Back the other way. Caleb Sully tipping it in.
He's having himself a game, man. He's got to be close to 20, between 20 and 25.
That's the end of the third quarter. RNS looks like they've called off the Dogs. B.E.A.S.T looking to get something positive going heading into the rest of this session. The Eastern National Session will be back for fourth quarter action, game 1 of 2 on the day.
Hudson running. Here's a caught.
Euro step.
Caught dancing on him.
Ooh, wow. Smooth.
Caught. Wow.
Another one.
Caleb Suley still on the floor as the lone starter for RNS. Both Kellen Tynes and Shaheem Malcolm getting some much-needed rest with 3 games over the next 3 days for the Riverhawks as they host this East National session. Steal and basket, Jacob Abiola. Beast just trying to win the quarter. Caleb Suley turns it over, back the other way. Abiola gets bumped.
And I do like and appreciate what Damian Gay's got going on here for RNS. You know, most of the starters are off the floor right now and getting some rest. Caleb's getting an opportunity to play some point. That's something he doesn't get to do a lot when Kellen Tynes is on the floor, and rightfully so. Kellen is obviously the alpha PG. But in this situation, he gets to make some mistakes in a game that, you know, they already blew out the opponent in. A lot of these other guys getting some minutes to prove themselves, to see what they can contribute when other guys are in foul trouble. On Beast now, it's really about making this a respectable ending.
Just try to get some momentum going for the rest of the weekend. Daniel Luck dribbles it off his foot. A little over and back, see? You can hear the Beast bench on the side here trying to get some positivity. You have to give it to them for that. I mean, it's always tough traveling from provinces away and trying to get your game to travel, especially when you're brand new to each other. Ooh, those are some steps. Easy call for the refs.
I didn't know what to expect from the refereeing out here, but it's been solid.
Talked to them before the game. They were excited to be here, and we just, you know, the new FIBA rules is really the big thing, and you know, a lot of the players out there, it'd be good for you to do a quick little Google search as Tim Cabre, the local kid, catches in easy too, but there are some new FIBA rules when it comes to attire and accessories on the court. And all these officials were making sure that all of our players were abiding by the letter of the law. Just over a minute gone here in the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Short break. We'll be back. The East National Session, game 1 of 10. And that is a big-time shot by Luella Cott. Malcolm coming back out. Damian Gay with 8:50 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Looks like Malcolm's going to get some minutes at PG.
Trying some things out.
Too easy. Can finish on both sides of the net. And
now they just need to get Shaheem Malcolm to be able to play the 5 spot. Ooh, that was good the minute it left his hand. Quavon McFarland from range.
He's been impressive in this game. He's a new name on my radar, but definitely looking forward to learning about him both on and off the floor.
Suley's No look, went to no one, and then ended up in Jack Byfield's hands. B.E.A.S.T back the other way, Abiola with 2. This is exactly the fourth quarter that B.E.A.S.T needed. Needed to get some offensive flow going.
We got Tynes coming in a second to make sure this doesn't get out of hand.
Sully, offensive rebound.
Is it just me, or
All
vertically
over.
has he really improved as well?
Absolutely. It's that training with Carl English. Those wall sits. Carl's from my generation.
Good old wall sits. It used to be a punishment for some people. I looked at it as training. I used to smile.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Sully is a perfect example of what the NPA is all about. A guy who nobody knew about in year 1. And as things move along, he is becoming a name to watch out for. Like I said, I mean, I don't know his point total right now, but I would not be surprised if by the end of this season we see Caleb Sully averaging around 15, like 15, 5, and 5 would be easy for this kid.
Oh, that's definitely doable.
But on a team with the offensive weapons that this team now has, it's very impressive to see.
I think there's a good chance that all 3 of them could end up with those type of numbers at the same time.
And then don't forget about Sam Alamutu. I mean, he was their leading scorer after the first half of this one.
That's right. I think Kellen will likely be the scoring leader for the majority of games, just because he is, I think, the most efficient on the team as well.
Thought about it. Ooh, no luck to Shaheem. Kellen Tynes, Shaheem Malcolm like peanut butter and jam. And they're loving life right here in RNS.
Have you ever had a peanut butter omelet?
No, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, oh, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. A lot of people used to make fun of me when I first mentioned it, but I mean, peanut butter is it's not like it's sweet, you know? It's got a saltiness to it, and if you go with the crunchy, it goes really well with eggs.
So a crunchy peanut butter omelet.
Yeah, and you got to put it into a sandwich, like make it, you know, go all out.
Do you use like an egg bread with that?
No, you could use a bagel, you could use toast.
Interesting.
Started off with Kellen Tynes and Shaheem Malcolm peanut butter and jelly, and somehow
if you're wondering how we got there,
breakfast convo.
If you want the pyramid, if it were to get to this point of the conversation, that's where it started.
Well, you never know. Maybe someone just pressed play on the stream.
Absolutely. Where you saw McFarland was money earlier. That shot was completely different coming off his hand. No way that had a hope.
Yeah, no legs and looked a little bit rushed as well.
Tynes got out there, another foul. Well, one thing you cannot argue with is that these officials are not giving RNS the benefit of the doubt. Tynes has picked up 4 fouls. He's only been on the floor for maybe about 20 minutes of floor time.
And when he is on the floor, he does tend to play a little bit aggressive, and that's what helps him get his steals.
Shaheem Malcolm pulling it down. A shout out the crew back home at NPH headquarters. And you along for the ride. Michaela Richer, our new women's national scout, putting in work on the recruiting trail, on the scouting trail. For our ladies' side of things, that has been so enjoyable to watch, to see the advancement in the girls' game in Canadian basketball and bringing Michaela in the fold with the North Pole Hoops crew. Just been hitting gyms all over the nation.
And the traction's really picked up. I mean, we've seen over the years, the ladies have actually done a lot better than the men for our national team. And in the NCAA, there's been over 100 on the ladies' side as well. So I mean, Michaela's coming in perfect time and picking up on the momentum and providing excellent coverage. And for NCAA coaches and Canadian universities looking to help your ladies program, let them know Michaela's service will be launching on the ladies side for North Pole Hoops very, very soon.
Time and time again. Kellen Tynes to Shaheen Malcolm. A dime and a dollar every time down the floor. .5:25 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Too much dribbling there, man. 10 dribbles and the ball, and it ends up being a steal on the other side. Just keep it simple.
Malcolm with a little hop, skip and a jump, dropped it off, but no good. B.E.A.S.T getting after it on the glass. Tynes kick out. Malcolm from range. No. Nice look to a cutting man.
Effortless. Effortless getting up there. I'd be setting backdoor screens for him all day long.
He's been very quiet since probably midway point of the second quarter. He's kind of went AWOL there. So it's so many players battle with consistency. When you're not getting it going on the offensive end, providing something else, and he was a defensive stalwart earlier as well, but that's went south pretty quick as RNS has put up 109 points, putting on a clinic in their home gym. No good. Malcolm pulling it down. The Riverhawks are just stuffing the stat sheet here. Tynes, that shovel pass. He should trademark that. He gets his own putback there off the miss from Alamutu. Offensive foul. Omichi Williams. .335 left. First time we've seen Javier Azagra on the floor for RNS. Damien Gay trying to get some burn for all of his guys. From deep, count it.
Long ball for Kenyi.
The other Calgary native on this B squad is Kenyi. Basket through contact, you can count it for Jacob Abiola. Damien Gay wants to talk a few things over. Under 3 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Stay with us, a short break, we'll be back. And remember, we got Crestwood taking on Halifax Prep, a tasty matchup up next.
Game. This is not a game. Don't waste your time. This is not for everybody, so you got to make a decision by the end of today if this is really what you want. Okay, I'm a 5'8" Arab kid, comes from a low-income family. My family was on welfare when we came up. Nobody expected us to be in have North Pole Hoops in the position that we're in. But everyone that said no saw how hard we grinded and just beat down walls. So now, if you're not going to waste your time, your parents' time, your coaches, don't waste mine either. Because I fought for everything that I've got. And if you want it bad enough, I'm telling you, fight for it. Are we all on the same page?
Look around the room, someone you don't know is watching you, and someone's going to talk about you after this, and you know, you want them to be able to say the right thing, and you know, that'll help send you in the right direction.
Those guys are here from 7 in the morning training because they want it.
We're back off the free throws. Damian Gay still cheering on his RNS squad. He's liking getting the end of the bench in now to try to get some minutes out of them. Let them get a taste of the NPA. Doesn't matter who's on the floor, they're going to battle.
That's what I appreciate about Coach Gay, is that he sets the standard for how he's going to coach, and it doesn't change regardless of if it's the starters on the floor, if it's a blowout victory, a blowout loss. He's just so consistent.
That's all you can ask for from your coach, right?
Well, it speaks on a man's character as well. If someone just, no matter what, remains the same and is consistent in his being and his approach, it just tells you that he's got an identity, he sticks by it, he lives by it.
Huge size advantage right there. It was Ket Simon with the swat. Just 5 on the shot clock for RNS. Really looking forward to this next matchup, and I know both these teams have been as well. Crestwood comes in as one of the favorites to win the NPA National Championship this year as Jack Fifield gets on the score sheet. And Halifax Prep, who had just 1 win last season as they battled injuries throughout the year. I mean, obviously too early to call them a championship threat, but they're in the mix. They're one of those teams that at 5 games into this season, we're really going to know where we're at with them, and they're going to get 4 games in this session. Every game counts in the NPA Canada. 12-game seasons get you your positioning for the NPA National Championship. Top 3 teams get a first-round bye, so every game counts. Again, you can follow along on everything on npacanada.com. Everything you could possibly need is sitting right there. Daniel Karipe had come down with the rebound, but it's stolen. Karipe, ooh, swatting at the ball. A lot of contact there, easy foul call. Lodi Kenny going to the line to shoot 2. Offensive rebound brought down by B.E.A.S.T. Karipe brings it down. Under a minute to go here, RNS making a statement in game number 1 as they host the NPA National session.
Just shy of what I projected at 120.
Still got time. 49.7 left. That was a shot clock malfunction. As Crestwood, led by Jacoby Neath in the front there, ready to take the floor and start getting warmed up. We took the plane in with that squad today. Focused, hungry, and excited to get out here to New Brunswick. Most of them had never been to the province.
And taking up a lot of leg room, might I add.
Just a little bit. Little bit of leg room. Swallowed up by these lengthy young men. Under 30 seconds to go here. .29 seconds to go here. So in about 20 minutes time, you'll have Halifax Prep taking on Crestwood. Tomorrow we got 3 games starting up at 1 p.m. local time here. As B.E.A.S.T will take on Crestwood, then Halifax Prep and GTA Prep, who just arrived into town, and then Crestwood and RNS, which will be a packed gym for that one, a Friday 7 p.m. game. A lot of people locally looking forward to see this Crestwood squad. RNS, big time win to start things off as they host the East National session. We'll be back with Game 2 on the day. Stay with us. We'll be back live on North Pole Hoops YouTube channel.